Jungkook was driving when a message popped up as he checked, and a smile kept on his face, looking at the name. He opened the message. You have just gone. I started missing you. Please come home early. I have a big surprise for you. Hubby, I will wait for you. Bye bye. Love you. Go safely. He blushed hard, reading her message as he recorded a voice note in between, focusing on the road. If you say I will leave my work and come back to you, baby, just say you'll find me next to you in next moment. He recorded in the voice as he said, and another notification popped up. No, focus on your work. Complete it ASAP. I have a surprise for you. Go safely. And why are you checking my message while driving? Are you crazy? Focus on driving. He chuckled, reading her messages as he dropped the last message. I'll see you later at night. You're not that much expressive when I'm with you, my share lady. Okay, he chuckled. See you, I love you a lot. He sent the voice message. Jungkook sighed as he smiled, looking at his phone that you just reacted to his message, and when suddenly his eyes widened as quickly turned steering wheel as he almost got hit by a truck. His heart pumped inside his chest rapidly. His focus is on road, but he's feeling uneasy, so he decided to stop the car as he pulled the brake. It didn't stop, which made him frown as he tried multiple times. Now his brows straightened as some realization hits him. What the hell is happening? He mumbled. Jungkook's mind went black for a while as sweat started to cover his forehead. He gulped hard. Jungkook took a long breath and again tried multiple times, but it's almost done for him. And he perched on the steering wheel as reality is hitting him. Jungkook tried as he realized that his car brake got failed when he tried to open the car door, but it didn't open as well, making his eyes go wide in horror. Thank God it's me, not you, he mumbled in horror. Jungkook closed his eyes as a lone tear escaped as took his phone with trembling hands, but while trying to dial number, a truck came which made his eyes widen as he turned wheel infection, which led him to hit railing, breaking it apart because of the speed, and the car crashed into the river. Oh God, fine, stop, I'm out of breath, she said while running as she is out of breath. Breath? I'm gonna snatching it away from you, you said while running behind her. She runs faster as you took your bag and threw in her direction, but oh. You covered your mouth as she bent down and your bag hit someone else, making both of them halt at your place while students around them gasped and your eyes widened in horror. Hey, are you okay? The other person said, checking him. She's gonna expel today. You know who is he? The new director of our university, one of them whispered, which brings your heart in your throat almost. And now you are horrified as you slowly looked at him and your feared ones met his angry ones, who is fighting for the person who hit him as see his nose is bleeding a little. Whiny, what you did, she whispered in your ear. Your fault, stupid. Why you bent down? You yelled back. Who was it? Other person said angrily. That's how you welcome your new director? He said scoldingly while you flinched. Who was it? He finally spoke with a little darkened voice as he looked at everyone. Before someone points at you, you yourself walked feeling scared as you were looking down. And you looked at him slowly, and your terrified gaze met his, and his gaze turned softened. You folded hands, closing your eyes. Sir, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. It was a mistake. I'm sorry. I'm genuinely sorry. I didn't mean to hit you. Please don't expel me, you pleadingly said as your eyes are closed. As the other person is about to speak, but he stopped him. As he looked at you, then you slowly opened your eyes directly to meet his, which sent shivers to your spine. And you quickly looked down. I'm so sorry, sir. Please give me any punishment you want, but please just don't expel me or suspend me. He broke his inner cheek as he walked near you, making you heart beat rapidly as he tilted his head. Look at me, he commanded as he looked at him. Any punishment? He said, poking his cheeks while you gulped hard, looking at his aura. Yes, but just don't suspend me, he said softly, and he controlled his mouth. What's your name? He asked gently. Wine. Kim Wine, sir. And he smiled a little as every student looked at him shocked. New student joined in between the semester. He nodded slightly and she chuckled slightly as she looked down and then you. That's why I never seen you before, he mumbled. Huh? Which course? You frowned but then replied. I'm tech. And he looked at you, making a heart to skip a beat. Great, he mumbled, and while the other person looked at him surprised. You looked at his nose, which was bleeding a little, as you pointed at it nervously while he was looking at you. As you took out your hand. Your nose is bleeding, sir. While he just stared at you as you hesitated a bit but slowly extended your hand to wipe his nose with your hanky. As his gaze shifted with your actions, and he wiped it gently, feeling guilty. You don't know why you did, but you just did that. While whole university seen the drama, and you begged a little when you were done, and bowed him multiple times. Please forgive me, bowing multiple times, and he just watched her. It's okay, you don't need to, the other person said as you looked at them. You can go, other person said as you nodded slightly. Everyone, back to your classes. And students started to rushing out, and when you looked at Alia, widening your eyes, and she just smiled at you. As you were about to walk, Miss Ryan, he speaks again, making you stop at your place as you turn and look at him. While he extended you your bag, and you mentally slapped yourself, and you slowly took, giving him a small smile as you're about to walk, but he speaks again. Your punishment is pending, he blurted out, making you shut your eyes. You smile nervously as you bowed and left, quickening your steps. Even if he speaks, you are not gonna stop, because you already embarrassed yourself in front of the whole university, while Alia followed you. He looked at who is smiling, looking in her direction, and folded his arm across his chest, and he snapped at him. Aren't you smiling way too much, huh? He asked suspiciously as he looked at him, straightening his jaw. Yes, any problem? And his mouth hung open a little. You are unpredictable, Jungkook. He gave him a tight-lipped smile. Yes, Taehyung, are we done? Taehyung squinted. I'm though, not sure about you. And Jungkook sighed. Don't give me that stares, he said, dusting off his clothes. If it was me or other person, you would have smacked or took the revenge of your every blood drop, he said, looking at him suspiciously. Would you like me to hit a girl? He shook his head. At least expected a good punishment, which you already done before, even it was a girl, he said, poking his cheek, and Jungkook smiled. Have you listened favorite girl or favorite woman word? And Taehyung laughed dryly. No, I didn't, sarcastically, and Jungkook poked his inner cheek. Okay, good then, he said and walked, and Taehyung brows straightened as he followed him. Hey, don't twist. I know you're that case, the way you were looking at her, but don't forget you have already someone in your life, he said, following him, and he ignored. Difference you, forced to have someone. He walked faster, and Taehyung sighed, following him. I swear to God, Ryan, he's looking at you like he's totally whipped for you and fall in love with you at first sight. You rolled your eyes, listening her non-stop stupid talks as you looked at her. Maybe he's like this only with everyone, and by the way, all the men are sweet to women. That's their habit. She shook her head. Not with everyone, but to their favorite woman only. You choked as you looked at her. That was cringe. While coughing, and she extended you water, and you drank it. But she sighed as she looked at you. Maybe you're right, because he's already getting engaged to someone. You looked at her immediately. For real? She nodded and looked at you, who looked disappointed. Why did your face fall off? You shook your head while continuing to. You were crushing over him? You looked at him. No, not like that. But he's quite handsome and young. Your tongue slipped as you realized, and she already looking at you mischievously smiled. It's not. I know. Many girls crush over him, but he shatters everyone's dreams. But they still do. There's nothing wrong. You sighed. What's his name? You asked curiously. Jungkook. And the other one with him is Kim Taehyung. He nodded. You both eat your food silently. You wanna drink something? You asked and she nodded as you got up. So you said I'll pay and bring something to drink. She nodded. You took your plate before placing it to dishwasher and walked to counter. Your mind is somewhere. Ajushi, 2 fruit juice. He nodded. You're still thinking about that incident, Jungkook. You mumbled unknowingly. Here, dear. You smiled as you took it and paid. Thank you. You're still in your thoughts, Jungkook. You unknowingly mumbled, turning when you bumped in something hard as you rubbed your head. Can't you see? You stopped as you looked at the person and your heart fluttered. He looked at you with a slight grin and you gulped, cursing yourself underneath while he's towering you as he's quite tall. Sorry. I'm sorry, he said softly while you just stared at him. I hope he didn't hear me when he snapped at you. Thinking about me? He asked, raising brows, and you shook your head instantly. No, I was just. And he smiled. 1 fruit juice, please, he said to counter person. Sorry, sir, but this was last 2 packs, he apologetically said. You looked at the juice bottles in your hands and shut your eyes, and he looked at the juice bottle in your hands but shook his head while smiling. No problem, as you looked at him biting your lip. Here, you can have this, you said, extending him 1 bottle, and he looked at the bottle and then you. Please accept, sir, as a token of apology, and he smiled softly. As he took from your hand and you smiled while he does too. Well, thanks for the favor, Ryan. The way he said your name made your heart skip a beat. No need, sir, and he nodded. You both stared at each other for a while. Jungkook felt his surroundings disappeared as you raised brows, and he does too. You looked down, then looked at him. Please move aside, I need to go. And he shut his eyes, chuckling softly, as he was blocking all your way. Nowhere to move, and you stared at him smiling, but then some realization hits him and you covered your smile. Please. He moved aside and you hurriedly walked while he just smiled, looking at your disappearing figure. Crazy. He mumbled as you hurriedly walked to Alia when she's about to say something, but you dragged her with you, not letting her speak. And Jungkook chuckled, looking at her. He looked at the juice bottle and then in the direction where you got disappeared. Where you got disappeared, bro? He rushed to him as soon he walked. Jungkook smilingly walked inside and Taehyung looked at him clueless while Jungkook took his seat smiling effortlessly. I asked you something. He looked at him. I went to canteen. He frowned. Cafeteria. Wait, what? Why? He asked, being surprised as he looked at the juice bottle in his hands. No way, you just went for this juice bottle. Jungkook shook his head. That's what I was thinking. You can ask from anyone to bring. He looked at him smiling. I went to see her, he blurted out, and Taehyung frowned. To see whom? He asked, raising brows when he scratched his head. The one who stole my heart. Taehyung understood. No way, Jungkook, don't say that, he smiled. I met her. She called my name, he mumbled, ignoring his word. Bro, come out of your dreamland, or you might start Third World War. You know, right? Jungkook smiled. Nope, the Third World War stopped now, which was going in my head from a long time. I find peace. and Taehyung looked at him unbelievably. Bro, you just met her now. He chuckled. That's the question. Why I just met her now? Why not before? He mumbled while Taehyung couldn't believe on his ears and his eyes. Are you dreaming of me? He looked at him. None of us. He mumbled and stood the juice. Young, get me her number now. Jungkook spoke and Taehyung blinked multiple times. Bro, she's your student. Jungkook chuckled. So means so. You must have age difference. He chuckled. She must be in her early 20s and I'm in my late 20s. Not a big deal. He replied calmly. Not a big deal. What about your fiancé? His expression changed a bit. First of all, we are not engaged. Secondly, don't bring her in this topic when I am really in good mood. He said a little coldly and Taehyung sighed. To escape one you can't use other one. He looked at him seriously. Do you really enjoy my bad mood? Can't you see me happy? Taehyung sighed. No, it's not like that. I felt you were being too quick. How did it happen that you just met her? What a pleasant meeting it was. You fall for her? Have you heard term love at first sight? Taehyung chuckled dryly. No, I didn't. Jungkook smiled. Good then, get me her number. He blurted out. And Taehyung looked at him dumb. She studied in your university. How can you not get her number in our records? Jungkook poked his... Right, thanks for the idea. He instantly got up searching for the files. And Taehyung looked at him surprised, looking at his dedication. Are we serious, Jungkook? He asked. As serious as you are right now. He replied, looking back at him, and Taehyung shook his head. Are you planning to date her? He smiled, shaking his head. What are you thinking? She said as she noticed you being lost and you looked at her immediately. What a creep he is, you said as she frowned. Who? Our new director, of course. When he has fiancée now, how can he look at other girl like that? Alia froze, smiling. Which other girl you are talking about? And you looked at her done and she chuckled. The way he looks at me. It's kind of weird, isn't it? Why he is not loyal to a girl and she listens. Looks at you like you again give her a turn look. Like he's swift for you. Your cheeks turn pink but you hide it immediately. I feel bad for her fiancé if he is a playboy. He mumbled and Alia shook her head. No, it's not like that. We met him quite a times. He never looked at anyone the way he looked at you. You felt unknown feeling rushing as you looked at her. But still, how can he look at other women like that? Alia sighed. Maybe he doesn't love her. He might be getting forced. He looked at her shocked. Come on, Alia, don't make up stories now. Why are you defending him so much? You said, and she chuckled. No, I'm just telling you the truth. And you sighed. Next time if he looked at me like that, I will confront him. Alia looked at you surprised. You can't do that, girl. Don't forget he owns this university. So what? If he'll expel me, I won't mind. But if he looked at me like that, then I'll show him. I know I'm beautiful, but I won't allow anyone to look at me like that. You said stubbornly and she chuckled at your cuteness. Are you sure you can deal with the 5'10" guy? You scrunched your eyes. Don't underestimate me. I don't care whether he is 5'10" or 6 feet inches tall. This 5'2" girl is enough for him. She chuckled again. Good morning, everyone. It is my great pleasure to introduce our new director, Mr. Jungkook. Come to us with a wealth of experience and vision of future that aligns perfectly with our university mission. Everyone clapped as Jungkook smiled slightly as he got up and she walked aside and Jungkook took the mic. Thank you so much for the warm welcome. I'm honored to join the institution as a director where I completed my studies. I look forward to our student who is the bright future will give a great effort and study hard to make us proud in the nation. I was a bookworm and I love to study a lot. I feel like teaching is something I really enjoy to do. Most of you know whom I taught as well. You, who love to study, what a boring man he must be. You whispered to Alia and she shook her head. But I'm very strict about studies, so be attentive, he said with a slight smile while you huffed, feeling bored. Isn't he too young to be a director? You curiously said, and she looked at you. Can't say anything more when his father owned this university. He looked at her immediately. Wow, cool. I see, quite lucky he is. Jungkook finished his speech as he's looking in the crowd, as if he's looking for a particular figure. Then he pouted when your focus went to stage. Then your eyes met his, and your heart skipped a beat, and he smiled slightly. You took a moment when he tilted his head, smiling at you, and you look away. I swear, this man is getting on my nerves now. Look how he's looking at me, you whispered to Alia, and she looked at Jungkook, whose eyes reached on her bestie, and she controlled her smile. I see something coming. How can this man find you in such a crowd? You nodded in agreement. That's my question, how? You whispered. Can you hear that? You raised voice. What? She smiled. Your heart stupid, how wildly it is beating. Your cheeks turned red in embarrassment as you look away. You looked at Jungkook, who is still looking at you while you felt like to bury yourself 6 feet under. It's not that he's making you feel awkward or creepy, but a different euphoric feeling, the way he's looking at you like adoring. He was adoring you, which your heart is not ready to accept, nor your mind. You again looked at him. When he looked away, smiling at his own, when you frowned, biting your lips. There is small celebration going on in university to welcome the new director and a buffet for students. You looked at the food excitedly. It looks delicious. Say anything, the director is good in this. You said happily, and I looked at you, shaking her head. You and your mood swings, she said, laughing slightly while all your focus was on food. You excitedly eat, and your face lit up, feeling that it was really delicious. As you extended to Alia and Shrill. It's good now? You said, and she nodded, and you smiled slightly, enjoying the food. While the man chuckled effortlessly, looking at her, as he doesn't know but just looking at her, making him happy for no reason. Taehyung looked at him unbelievably as he's leaning on the wall, watching him being crazy. I want her ASAP, he mumbled, and Taehyung just nodded, looking at his friend who is looking like a crazy man right now. Yeah, she's a toy, right, that you asked for, and I'll bring it to you, he said, being sarcastic, and Jungkook gave him a blank look. He stood steady. You know what you're looking like right now? A stalker. You became directed to see girls, he said, and there is still time. Don't make any decision like this. You might be just attracted to her, nothing else. And it happens. We all are human beings. He tried to make him understand. I'm going to talk her, he said, ignoring his word, and Taehyung couldn't process and while he walked. Wait, did he just ignore my words? This man, how simple men are. They get easily attracted to anyone, he mumbled, chuckling right. You are full now as you ate a lot, like every dish you tried, everything out there. You are on your way to classroom where everyone is still enjoying because there are many events. You smile at your own, but then you bumped into someone. What the? You said, panicking as you were about to fall, but you felt strong arms around your waist and your hands are on his shoulder. As you slowly looked at him and swallowed, looking at so, and he took a strand of your hair behind your ear, making your heart beat wildly. I'm sorry, he said softly as you quickly stand straight, correcting yourself. He smiled as you looked at him. There is no words coming out of your throat, but when he speaks, I need to talk to you. You looked at him nervously. To me? You asked, pointing at yourself, confirming, and he poked his energy. Is there anyone else except you, Miss Ryan? He said, being a little sarcastic while he folded arms across his chest. You stood there playing with your fingers while he noticed the details as you opened your mouth to say something but closed. Say, you looked at him in no sense. I may say only if you will not expel me from the university, he murmured, and he chuckled lightly. Why no? You looked at him hesitating. How can I expel you from university? You entered in my heart without any warning. He mumbled, but you heard it as you looked at him shocked, feeling heat in your cheeks, but look away immediately. Say, he said patiently, but you were feeling hesitant. Are you a playboy? Jungkook couldn't believe on his ears. He raised brows and asked again to confirm. I'm what? He asked again while you gulped before saying, no, actually I didn't mean, but why you look at me like that? Nervously, and he stepped closer. Like what? He said, stepping closer while you feel holes in your stomach. Like what, Ryan? While you felt that you were struggling to breathe. Like, as he raised brows and you took a deep. Like you like me, being straightforward, and he smiled. Good catch, because I do, he declared, and you looked at him shocked. Would you like to date me? Raising brows while you have no words. But I would like to marry you, he said huskily while you couldn't process what he just said, as you are really in shock. Your brain stopped training as your breath is uneven that how can he say this straightforwardly? You were seriously not ready for this. When your phone rings as you quickly pick to avoid the awkwardness while his eyes fixed on you. Yeah, Vayana, where are you? I'm looking for you. Yeah, I'm coming. As you cut the call, looked at him as he's still waiting for your response. But you turned and walked. Not walked, but ran away. From there, as soon as possible, Jungkook closed his eyes, thinking that he had been too fast for this. He shook his head, denial and scratching.